For the module for discussion, Alexis provided two very good examples regarding aesthetic conventions employed within the leaflet. I found it very interesting and insightful when Alexis provided context of the Hopi House, describing the purposes Mary Jane Elizabeth Coulter built it, the house's significance, and her influence in turning what was to be a museum into a historical display of indigenous life. Although both of his examples were great, I found the first example of primitivism to be well supported, as Alexis touched on how the indigenous people's way of life was described as crude and isolated, which are key aspects to the idea of primitivism. By doing so, Alexis shows how the leaflet portrays these people clinging to their natural way of living as opposed to living in a civilized and industrialized society. Alexis's discussion post was very thorough and provided great examples, but one suggestion that I would make would be to describe in more detail how the class status of the indigenous people were portrayed in the leaflet. Although Alexis begins to touch on class, describing how the author used words such as crude and primitive to describe the indigenous people, I believe there could be another example used to further support this point. One example would be to describe the advertisement of the Navajo Room and Hopi paintings. With this advertisement, the indigenous people were portrayed as a labor force for the company used to mass-produce souvenirs for tourists. They're depicted as an attraction or spectacle for entertainment rather than as humans trying to support their families and create a life. I believe by incorporating this, it would enhance his discussion and describe how the leaflet reinforced class boundaries between the elite or leisure class and the indigenous people.